Hi YouTube, Regina here. So, today's topic. How do you decide when to prioritize today versus tomorrow? How do you decide? Well, it depends. Do you have debt? If you have debt, you're going to need to go through a season of sacrifice. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you should go through a season of sacrifice. You should sacrifice today for tomorrow. But you shouldn't sacrifice today for tomorrow for the pursuit of financial independence. So let's get into this. What ends up happening is if you ever pay down debt, you get super hyper focused and intense about making sacrifices. And this is important because you're all in, you want to pay down the debt. And so you are looking over your budget and your finances, and you say to yourself, geez, I'm going to cut it down to the bare bones. And as you do this, you are absorbing information. You're reading blogs and you're going online and reading articles, finding books on the topic, and you're learning about personal finances. They didn't teach this in school, so you're learning all you can. You are finding out ways where you can cut your bills, renegotiate, and maybe even find out ways to earn more money. You're working weekends, overtime. You might have asked for a raise. You're doing all the right things, and you're saying no to fun. You are redirecting all that money for this intense period of time, and it could be extreme, it could be uncomfortable. You're saying no to fun. That's a season of sacrifice. Typically, a season of sacrifice should last 6 months to 2 years, because what's going to happen is you're going to lose motivation over time. And so that's when people start reading and learning as much as they can to keep themselves motivated. And they learn about financial independence, retire early. Wow, I can really cut my bills down. I can get my bills down to $2,000 a month, or I can get my bills down to $1,000 a month. I am frugal. I'm not buying that. They cut everything, including fun. Not everybody. Some people can really cut their budget down to $1,000 a month and still have fun. But it really depends on where you live. So you know your number of what you need to spend every month. Well, there's the rule of 375. You take whatever number that is. So let's say your expenses are $1,000 a month, and you multiply that by 375. That gives you $375,000 that you need in investments to conservatively compound for you and also deal with market volatility. So it's a very conservative number. It's kind of like off the 4% rule of your money. So now you know the number you need. I need $375,000 in investments to produce me an income, and I could then leave my job. I'm going to stay super hyper focused on living this frugal lifestyle that I set for myself. I'm going to save, 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 and invest. That's the wrong way to go. The season of sacrifice is meant to be a season or a period of time. It isn't meant to be a lifetime. And so I want you to think of that barbell again. Take the weights off. There comes a point in time where you can take your foot off the brake or release a bit of the brake. And I'm not saying that you're going to become a mindless spender again or overindulge. I'm saying that you need to go back to living your life. You need to add fun back into the budget. You need to not be super hyper focused on this next new goal of financial independence. It will happen. What you do is when you reach the end of the season of sacrifice is you redirect some of that money to go towards wealth building. Some of the money that was going towards debt repayment goes towards wealth building. And the rest of it goes back to your life. As I like to say, you need to make lifestyle improvements. Very different from lifestyle inflation. Because at the end of the day, happiness should not be postponed. People who are only super hyper focused on financial independence postpone their life to a point where they keep their savings rate so high that they're not living today. The reality is, there are some experiences in life that you can only have while you're young. And so, while the saying goes that your future self will thank you, well, your future self will thank you if you live your life too. It's going to thank you for living because certain things cannot be postponed. You need to be building memories as you're working towards your future. If you're so focused on leaving your job and getting to financial independence, retire early, you're going to become miserable at that job. You're going to become burnt out because you're not having any fun in the process. And so, wouldn't life be a lot more enjoyable once the season of sacrifice is over and you took those heavy weights you put on yourself for paying down that debt off? And now it's just the barbell. You can live your life. You could put your finances on cruise control. You could be saving towards your future. And you could have a balance. You could have the now and the later, not all sacrificing your now for a future that you don't even know that might happen. So do not postpone your life. Do not postpone your joy. There comes a point in time where the paycheck will end. But there also comes a point in time where our ability to experience joy or the joyful things that you like to do, where that ends too. Or like they say, the no-go years. In those years, you want to have those memories to rely on. So transitioning out of that period of the season of sacrifice is so important. Even if you've found the topic of financial independence, and I'm for it. Trust me, I want everyone to be able to retire early, but not at the expense of postponing your life. So look for balance. Try to intentionally live for today while you're intentionally planning for tomorrow. As you get near and closer to retirement, that might be the last time that you need or that you may want to focus on prioritizing the future over today. So it's the debt payoff period and the period right before you leave. It's almost like that period to finalize your plan, to finalize your course of action. But even then, I don't suggest it. In about 2 weeks, I'm going on a cruise. A few weeks later, I'm going down to Florida for 2 weeks. I'm not postponing my life while I'm on the doorstep of 15 months away from retirement. You need to do both. This is Regina from Simply Fundamental. Thank you for listening, and I hope you're intentionally living for balance. I do also hope that you do go through the period of the season of sacrifice, because paying down debt and getting yourself out of the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck is so important that it's worth postponing life temporarily. Thanks for listening. Bye. And I'll catch you on the next one.